I would just love a doctor with one-liners. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Today, Mikaela, we're gonna be ranking our top 5 fictional, that includes movie and TV, doctors.
The doctor's in.
The doctor is in.
The doctor is in.
Okay, so what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Dr. Aaron from Trainwrecked, as Bill Hader's character.
Oh, I love that answer.
He's like a sports medicine guy,
Yeah.
but he's still a doctor. I loved his character because that movie is so funny. Throughout the movie, they show you he's very good at his job. He's treating like LeBron James.
You are my LeBron James, but not really.
Get to the point where you're treating the top athletes unless you are, I mean, if anything, that's like a plot hole in the movie of like, this guy is a massive deal.
He's very good.
You treat all of the top athletes.
I'm the best player in the world.
There's millions of dollars in your hand.
Yes.
Billions of dollars. Your number 5.
My number 5 is Doctor Strange. He is like a top neurosurgeon. Just that alone, like I think if you ranked the actual skills of certain doctors, like even before he has all the magic abilities, his character I think is supposed to be like the greatest doctor in the world.
I think I found the problem. Left a bullet in his head.
Thanks.
And then you add the fact that he can go back in time. There's no other doctor where it's like, there's always the odds that for whatever reason I wake up out of surgery and it's 500 years in the future. I don't want that.
Yeah, that's a little much.
But it's worth the risk if it's like that or life or death.
My number 4 is from the Mindy Project, Dr. Kimball Kinney.
Oh, Dr. Kimball Kinney.
He was like a later in the seasons character, and he was like one of the best ads of all time. They're OBGYNs. It's really funny. He's pretty much a misogynist. He's like an old Southern guy. And
he's old South.
And he deals with women. He's a women's doctor.
How did this happen, Jody? You're an OBGYN.
He's also at the same time kind of charming and funny. As a woman, when you go to those doctors, you kind of need someone like that.
Yeah.
You kind of need someone who's like a little charming and a little Southern, like, oh, don't worry about it.
She's a little bit of a womanizer as well.
Yeah.
She is my lady friend.
Lady friend, excuse me?
You know, if there's a womanizer in the office, you might be getting your checkups more often, and that's a good thing. It would be a funny story every time you come home.
Guess what he said today?
Yes.
He called my lady parts the down south train.
Yeah.
Like just something insane. Okay, my number 4 is Dr. Walsh, played by Matt Walsh in The Hangover.
Okay.
He's the doctor who has one of the funniest lines in movie history, which is, oh, it's on the corner of get a map and off.
It's at the corner of get a map and off.
I want my doctors to be direct. I don't want a doctor who is gonna sugarcoat things. He's also a doctor in Vegas, which means he's seen
some stuff.
Insanity before, and he can still keep his composure, and he's gonna fix your problem, and he's not gonna like give you a lollipop at the end. Also, he's bribable. You can kind of give him some money.
Look it right in there. I don't want to re-sterilize.
My number 3 is Dr. Perry Cox from Scrubs.
Ooh.
I really like him because it's like he's in charge, he's a to everyone under him.
My interns agree with me, but they're in a timeout right now because one of them used the phrase, let's rock and roll.
But he also is always the one where he's like, he's gonna fix whatever his residents did. Like he is the guy in the office who's going to do the right thing. Even though you might not really like him personally, he's a good doctor at the end of every episode.
There's a reason why he's the top guy, because when it comes down to business, he saves lives.
But also, I just love the way he delivers every line.
He kind of feels like a cartoon.
Yes, absolutely.
A situation has 10 seconds to resolve itself before I flash white with rage and kill someone.
He nails it.
My number 3 is Dr. Victor Freeze, otherwise known as Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin, specifically the one played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Iceman cometh.
In addition to being a supervillain, he's also like a genius. He figured out how to make a freeze ray gun. I would just love a doctor with one-liners. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
I would love to just be getting stitches, and he's like, who drew first blood? And I'm like, that was Sylvester Stallone, not you.
They drew first blood, not me.
He would just always have something kind of up his sleeve.
Cool party.
My number 2. It's actually Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, for the character, I'll go with young Frankenstein, Gene Wilder. Good time.
That's Frankenstein.
I want Dr. Frankenstein to be my doctor. You brought someone back to life.
Give my creation life!
The guy knows stuff.
The guy knows a thing or two.
Every other doctor is playing under the guidelines of when the patient dies, it's over, they lose.
Yeah, that's the finish line. He said,
He's in a totally another game.
Yeah, he's playing in a completely other ballgame. He's created life.
What quality of life is that though?
Not sure.
Because you are a monster.
But that could have just been test number 1.
That's true.
You know, he's still working on it, but he's got the brain to figure it out.
Abby who? abnormal.
You don't want to get the new iPhone the week it comes out. You want to wait 1 month after they've kind of like secretly recalled all the stuff. You want to be Frankenstein's 100th person.
Yes.
That's when he's like, I
Yes.
really got it down. My number 2 is Dr. Christina Yang from Grey's Anatomy. The reason why I'm going with Dr. Christina Yang is because she is by far the best doctor in Grey's Anatomy.
What season are they on these days?
Like 25.
Jesus Christ.
They've gone so far that Meredith Grey is now the head of surgery, and it actually makes sense. It's not like a TV jump. It's like, no, she's 57. She should be by now. But the reason why I'm going with Christina Yang is because she is by far the best doctor in Seattle Grace. She's the only one where if you watch the show, she doesn't just like lose patients willy-nilly to teach herself a life lesson.
Yeah.
Every other one of them, it's like, oh, you were too focused on your romantic life.
Yeah.
And now this patient that should totally live died because you didn't see that they had blah blah blah's disease, which you knew. You would have known.
You would have known.
She doesn't give a
She's not like, oh, what about my date later? It's like, no. She's here to do her job. My number 1 is Dr. Mindy Lahiri from the Mindy Project, of course. I love anything Mindy Kaling does, but this character is exactly who I would want to go see as a doctor. She's funny, she's relatable, she's young, like she's who I would want to go to as like a woman like looking for OBGYN help or anything. She is exactly who I want in the office. She's gonna talk to me about all the celebrity gossip while she's doing my pap smear.
You spent more money on emojis than rent?
Not crazy about this judgmental tone.
I wonder how many OBGYNs now are like, I'm kind of the Mindy Lahiri
Yeah,
of this place.
Kind of the Mindy. She's so great because they show so many times in the show where it's like she's like on a date or like at somewhere important like for her like personal life, and she gets a call and she's like, sorry, I have to do my job. I have to go deliver this baby. Like she always puts her patients first.
Okay, I'll be there.
So my number 1 is Dr. Rumack, played by Leslie Nielsen in the movie Airplane.
I'm sorry I have to wake you. You a doctor?
That's right.
Have you seen
I
Airplane?
have not seen Airplane.
It's one of the funniest movies ever.
Oh, it's my stomach. I haven't felt this awful since we saw that Ronald Reagan film.
He's the character where the line, I am serious and don't call me Shirley comes from.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
He is literal as they come. I don't want a doctor where I'm like, I have to read between the lines.
Yeah.
No, I want Leslie Nielsen
Facts.
from Airplane. Leslie Nielsen in Airplane is the greatest doctor in the history of cinema, and I'll stand by that for the rest of time. Well guys, there you have it. Do we miss any doctors that you would love to be treated by? Let us know in the comments. We definitely did, because there are the list is insane.
There's so many doctors on TV.
There's 50 of them in Grey's Anatomy alone. Let us know which doctors we missed, and as always, let us know which one of us had the best list. Is there anything else?
I think that's it. See you guys next time.
See ya.
Okay.